Gen G is just one map win away from making history. Not just for Korean Valorant, but for the Pacific region as a whole. It would be absolutely monumental if they were able to pick up this win, but they still have one more map ahead of them here, and that would be Split that we're going to be seeing in a moment. And oh boy, this could go either way.
But I think Gen G is on the course to win a trophy. They have two maps coming up where they have looked great thus far. That Ascent win could have been the make or break in this series.
Yeah, undefeated on Split so far here in Madrid, and they've taken down Sentinels, the ones we hyped up as the best Split team in the world. It would almost be poetic to close it out on Split.
Well, let's talk about some of the great ideas that we were seeing from Gen G, because honestly, it just feels like Munchkin Mike is just making some brilliant calls, and on top of that, the plays have just been immaculate.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a perfect example here, just a real slow burn pistol round. There's two opportunities for this to actually slow down and go back into Sentinel's favor, but Gen G just make the right decisions time and time again. There's a second freeze here where actually in the post-plant situation, they wait for the turret to come back up. It's just so composed.
I think the way that Gen G plays like pace is like no one else in this tournament. They can have rounds like this where they slow down twice, they take these pauses, they force their opponent to make a move, and then they have rounds where when they have an advantage, they're pressing it, they're going hyper-aggressive, they're relying on the aim. They're so good at breaking the timings, but also going back to playing this super standard style of Valorant that just makes them so hard to call against.
Yeah, it has to be the most difficult thing for John and Kaplan to have to make these plays work against a Gen G squad that just seems to have the playbook.
One round you're playing against HyperX, and the next round you're playing against a better DRX.
Yeah, no, real talk. That really is a great way to break it down. Of course, though, one player that we have to highlight as we, well, could maybe see him make history here for the region. It's Lakia, who, you know, he's been in these positions before, but now not like this. This is going to be monumental for this young man who's able to pull this off.
Yeah, in particular, I mean, he comes under flak occasionally, but here he's the second leg to kind of Munchkin's mid-rounding. The way that they use his utility in these re-clearances, being proactive, we come back to that composure as well. Their ability to swing mid-rounds back in their favor. When they concede a first blood, nearing on 50% of a 4v5 conversion comes down to players like Lakia.
And imagine if he could win a trophy now. He was there when Korea had their next best placement at an international event on New Turn all the way back. He has been grinding since then.
Full
had
circle.
Multiple opportunities, joined DRX, it didn't go his way, went down to Tier 2, but now he's back in the Tier 1 in the first final that his country has ever made in Valorant with a real shot at winning it.
Yeah, I mean, look, the odds gotta be on the side of Gen G, and you can even see it in the poll. People are starting to come to their senses here. Don't get me wrong, I love Sentinels, but Gen G's cooking.
Have Sentinels ever lost a Twitter poll?
Well,
they're making a comeback now.
Oh, they're making a comeback now.
But it's going to be a lot harder for them to make a comeback in this server here.
This is crazy. The fans have no idea where this is going to go.
Yeah, it's wild. Sentinels honestly shouldn't be winning this because they're going into Split. This has historically been their best map. They were excellent in Americas. They were dominating the early stages of this tournament, but Gen G's on a 3-map win streak here, and they figured them out last time. The way they varied this place sent some really hyper-aggressive pieces with the Raze Jet double duelist combo. Took SEN by surprise.
And the concerning thing here is actually, I think we've been talking about a couple of times today, Gen G have been the ones, the benefactors of controlling the pace. And that was the story last time. Sentinels just seemed 2 steps behind Gen G every single round.
I think the biggest change for SEN needs to be on their defense, doing a better job of handling Gen G's disruption. What they were doing so well was fighting forward and shutting down SEN's set retakes. If they can't make that change, if they can't come back on a map that has been their best, Sentinels will be out, and Gen G will hoist that trophy.
Will we go to a map 5? I know the crowd wants it. We want it, but let's go ahead and see if we get it. Bren, Sideshow, the floor is yours.
For our 4th map here in the grand finals, it's up to Sentinels to really steal their hearts. You gotta imagine despair settling in. Think about it, Gen G with a better momentum on this map. I mean, Split, they used to be the bane of many teams when they were up against Sentinels. People arguing, why didn't they fight back? Why didn't they ban it?
Yeah. But I mean, you look at what Gen G have been able to do this tournament on Split. It's been fantastic. Early rattle take to start this one off. Paranoia being thrown, countered as well. Everyone blind.
No way, Tensi can't get away with the kill.
Okay, but Sen also realized that that's a bit of a fake. It's not everybody in that area.
Second gets off the line for just a moment, and now he's going to be faced with an absolute onslaught. They rush his position in still, walks away with 2. Return of the fire. Sen not leaving anything to chance. They want to try and funnel and rotate everybody towards him, but yet still Gen G but played right into their hands.
One enemy remaining.
There's no help.
Low on health indeed. Meteor forced to scatter and back away. I mean, we are talking about the opening 35 seconds here. And now grouped up side by side, looking to put a pistol round on the board.
SEN are getting antsy here, though.
John QT out wide, Tens wide face! And definite chances, but Sentinels, necessary beginning here for this map on Split.
It definitely is. That's a great opening. And you saw from the very beginning, a lot of actually Gen.G's attack side. The last time these two teams faced was dominated by A-ramp fights. Yeah. And kind of that fight over A-heaven, actually even in the post plan. So Tens uses the paranoia instantly to try to stop anyone from scaling. They realize that instead it's coming through mid. Second does an amazing job at picking up two.
Got to remember, this is still Sentinels before getting smacked around by some of the APAC teams. Still one of their better maps here. They might just try and jump onto this one, but Celsius spotted out, backs away, not getting caught out into the open. Still, a few stray shots in. One of the key real win cons for Gen.G I found as well when you were revisiting, the split map when they last clashed and played against one another, was Celsius kind of getting caught out in the open. On top of those mid fights, or at least the A-ramp fights that you were talking about earlier, Josh.
Yeah. I mean, they in the previous time these two teams faced, they tried to set up a high-low in mid and just dropped the orb and faced into 4 players. Yeah. It was brutal. This time, not going to go for something that risky on the follow-up after the rifle, after the pistol.
They have given up a lot of space, though, to Cam. Spotting out the tippy toes.
And this is a very classic position for John's Cam. Gen.G are going to know that. They break it. Zekan's the only player here. He's got to get safe before the wall goes down. And Munchkin, almost getting caught in mid, will die to Tens.
I might be looking to swarm here, just a wide face and peek. John is under attack, and finally he's going to have some reinforcements just allowed into the side here, but everybody survives. Could have got dangerous, could have maybe got expensive, let's say.
Oh, but it's a good, clean finish for SEN. John Cuty's been fantastic in an anchoring spot. Tens always sends a really nice smoke, and John's got cages he can play around, traps that catch people. It's very effective.
Yeah.
One enemy remaining.
What doesn't work is when they lose the early round fights right off the rip. Gen.G now with rifles on board, looking to try to dominate B main by the look of things. Meteor was acting a bit as the lurk. And it looks like he is again separated from the pack.
Good time for SEN to try and cook something up here in their bonus round, and fully grouped up this time. Nothing to chance, is it? Flash through, no connection with the orb dropping down. Well, not expecting it, but he does dash into the open. There is that follow-up. Now the reaction. Gen.G fast on the approach. TP forwards by Karen, and they have cleared out that B site.
I do like the way that Gen.G balance between pushing aggressively in post plants and waiting for the flood defense. This one, just waiting to see if there's a reaction from SEN. We know that the economy's weak, expecting the flood.
Danger spotted. Nade as well, he's stunned up entirely here. Sassy, so fast of it. Zekan combining with that approach here out wide. Munchkin seeking to at least relieve that pressure and damage and offset that disadvantage. Still locked down onto the pillar angle. They wait, a pause, but now the paranoia allows him to play it a little bit deeper here. Smoke now, propped up.
Zekan is one, he's got to be healed.
He is going to top back up to a bit more health still. Got to think Gen.G, it all comes down to the way these fights get taken. Zekan from the side. Temple taken out of Charon inside the cage, dominating but cleaned up. Munchkin in the back, 1v1! No bullets, no chance! Munchkin with the sidearm saves the bloody day.
Well, that's an extremely expensive round again. SEN on the bonus, creating pressure, applying danger. Pretty disastrous dash there from Meteor, actually. Player who has really impressed me with how much smarter he seems than on previous teams.
Yeah.
And then grouping together to try to flush out these people one at a time. Just a little unfortunate that the second didn't have more loaded in the clip. That economic damage is going to mean one Guardian for Gen.G, so it doesn't even have that much effect.
Potential for another large fight.
Now, Gen.G were fighting over A-ramp with 4 players a lot of the time, the last time that these two teams faced off. This one, though, a 1-1-3.
They pause, and now they make the play here with the paranoid just a little bit too delayed. Rocket up and over, Uptrap saves him, but not from the bullets. You're falling, damage done to Texture. Nade nowhere close, so he will survive, and Lakia is in mid.
Yeah, look at this awesome response from Lakia. Realizing that Sen have overcommitted to the A ramp fight, he takes all of this space.
Zelsis is not going to be expecting this, not going to be expecting this, but still lands it.
What a flick, what a turn!
That is insane. Forced to pivot now for Gen G. He's not an option, so they go back to what has been working for them. They've been doing a lot of these mid-round calls. Group up, collected together.
I'm seeing
brute force and win these fights.
I'm seeing pings on the minimap, Bren, that indicate they want to push through B Heaven into spawn. I don't know exactly whether they're going to commit on that. The cam is going to spot them.
30 seconds left.
Just about. Snakebite though.
Yeah, look at this. They're looking to try to take the fight towards stairs while Munchkin plants.
Has got a plan. He was trying to pit. Goes down entirely here. The trades online now for Sentinels. Obliterating any chance here for Charon to even stand toe to toe. He'd have to hit those shots, and he can't quite manage it.
A supremely better beginning to this map for Sen. Putting the pressure on Gen G, dealing, I don't know how, but dealing with Lakia coming through vent. Gotta see this again. Oh, what a flick. That's an outrageous one. If Lakia is able to get that, the whole round just pivots.
Yeah. All laughs in the Sen camp, not letting the stress get to them.
I mean, I assume that there was an amusing reaction from Zelsis in comms as well. He seems like the kind of player to do it. But that's broken Gen G. All of that damage from an expensive bonus round.
Here.
I don't want to count them out, but the economical advantage is massive for Sen, and they needed a hot start. They've got it.
You're right, we're feeling like you can't count Gen G out. I mean, this team made a name for themselves as well, just in qualifying for this event by winning so many of these rounds where they weren't expected to. Shouldn't be as much danger, but you never know. Molly's flying overhead here. Quickly into the approach here. There's a paranoia, and there's pillars close to it. Players getting beamed down and ran down. Showstopper rocket out wide with Zelsis falling. John QT left scrambling. He's trying to pick up these pieces. Pit collected and corralled now. It's only up to him in a 1v1 second. Maintains that composure and holds down the fort just when his team needed it.
What a savior for Sentinels. 9-3 to begin. After being rocked by Monyet, it was the only map where Zekken didn't look like the best player in the low bracket final. But this one was so dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Texture did as much as he possibly could to make this one a win. John taking down Munchkin though, dropping the pit, set Zekken up for success. So much danger in that round.
Pumped up after that one.
There.
Gen G have just looked so crazy whenever they're at a disadvantage. In the series overall, they're still winning a third of the time when they're down a player. Never mind when they're on their eco, you know, that you can just never count them out.
Almost unheard of entirely. And again, it's a fast play from Gen G. They're going to get access and gained over towards that B side, but now a fight into the spawn. Texture spamming the appropriate angles. It's running and cutting at play, at work. That's purely just off of a read. Maybe even just a sound cue.
A great read, though. And now Texture looking like he wants to get put into the smoke, or at least avoiding this flash.
Texture's going to get value. They're not going to clear him out as well. They topple and fall, and they collide right into him.
And that's more like what Gen G were up to previously. A great balance of sometimes waiting for the flood if they anticipate it, and then if they're not going for the flood, trying to disrupt the Sen retake. There was a lot of talk about how incredible Sentinels retakes were. We were, at the beginning of this tournament, saying Sen, Carmine Core, retakes were amazing. A kickoff, Sentinels won 61% of their retakes. At Madrid, that's 24%.
It's gone right down.
It's plummeted to not even being a good retake percentage at all. Never mind a great one, an incredible one, unheard of one. So if Sen can get back to that kind of level and deal with Gen G looking to disrupt, there's a major win condition for them in this half.
Oh, but from Zelsis seeking to reposition. Now this is an unusual angle. You can get cleared very easily.
It's nice though if Zekken continues to make noise and distract.
Trailblazer clears him. Trailblazer clears him. He's in trouble, and yeah, more so than that, he's out in the open.
Really well done. Very diligent from Gen G. Celsius getting caught by a mid-stack again, hoping just to be able to pick up a lurker. But look at Meteor again, kind of picking up that role as Sentinels re-push out through B main.
It's a good call to make here, but Sassy surely not favoured into that one, and yeah, just backs away. Tens holding the angle for him, just over the shoulder. Offload those Seekers as well, giving him a good indicator now, but already getting a move on, a run now. Over towards A, fast sprint and fast in action. There are anchoring players. Zekken here, oh my goodness, almost claiming that one. It was a dink, drops him down to 10 HP. Meteor falling to the nade, Zekken still alive. Still playing towards the pillar with the help of his team with only 30 seconds left. What is the call now for Gen G?
There's very little time for them to work with. They're going into a stack. I mean, where's the win condition here? How do they get this?
Unlikely. It just looks so damn unlikely. Texture forward in his approach again, but there's no setup ready for it. The Satchel's to his doom and defeat. Everybody picked apart. Spike drop down. No kill onto Charon. To get this plant down, maybe potentially Tens. Push. Just, yeah, pushing, ending, putting a stop to it.
Big round from Tens. Great shot with the Guardian to open things up. But I think what actually wins the round, I've been talking so much about how the Gen G look like they over-rotate. They trust the read. They believe in it. Follow the noise, that kind of stuff. SEN actually just hold their ground. They went for the B main exploration, got the kill, and they didn't gamble that it was going to be a B hit afterwards. They kept John and Zekken in anchor positions over towards A, and that's what paid dividends. Staying rooted, staying to the fundamental defense. And now Zekken's got a showstopper to work with. Could be incredible against a fast A push.
Fast ramp aggression, and you're right, there is going to be that showstopper ready and waiting. He just looks for the right time to strike, and that appears to be now! Rebounding across the wall, Lakia finish gap into the wall, maybe a chance for Meteor, but the knives just go amiss, all ran out. And so do the chances, really. Attempt to try and take this space still.
Love that smoke from Tens as well. Not something that they were previously doing, choosing to fight A ramp. But now just making sure Gen G have no opportunities to take this fight. And if they do, Sen tripled up, looking to drop the wall and take the fight on their terms. They missed the paranoia!
There's the paranoia! Texture! And Meteor! They combine their might, and Sentinels, no chance entirely! It's all gone wrong!
Brutal! That's the bungle. And I said I loved the fact that they were smoking it off and not taking the fight. Made me eat my words in about a second and a half afterwards as they just sent the paranoia, missed it, and ran in one by one. That's a tragic misplay, and looking so similar to what was hurting SEN on their defense in the upper bracket final.
It's an advantage situation they're in.
Yes, there is simply no need to make a play like that. They want to clear out a ramp, I understand, but you're just taking too many risks there. The paranoia doesn't clear out the lane fully, and Gen G are so ready for that. They punished Sentinels many times before. What a huge one for Gen G to be able to take. And frankly, against most teams, SEN would get away with that. Yeah. But Gen G are so sharp, and their positioning is so good over towards A ramp.
Despite that shakiness at the beginning of split, undeterred, Gen G have that economical advantage. Even the showstopper for Texture here. Should be looking at that fourth round on the board.
Texture got an amazing showstopper round against SEN previously by doing pretty much the same thing we just saw, stopping them fighting A ramp.
It's anchoring players are going to get tested.
It's unusual for Celsius to be here on A.
Let's try and play around these smokes here, but with the wires taken out, he's pitting. Pitting early preemptive. Paranoia will not connect there. Where will the rocket go, though? That is the question. And fires it straight into Celsius. He's dropped, and with that, the pit. It's an open side out, open still. Looks like a chance to take this fight, but they're not anticipating it. Meteor already up onto the high ground position, but Sentinels not messing around. A rapid approach and a rapid retake of this one, but they are being cleaned up entirely as Charon is just plucking them apart.
Munchkin ready to stop anybody going through A heaven, but the players on site had already done his job for him.
Zekken
tries to make the most of it, but he's going to have no chances there. Gen G getting a couple of huge rounds back to back to put the squeeze onto SEN. After SEN had got such a great start to this map, which was exactly what they needed. Great read as well from Texture, that Celsius would not be playing inside the ultimate because he's scared of the showstopper, and instead would be over towards elbow. And even if Celsius wasn't there, that's a spot that John loves to play in. John also, without the cage he normally uses to flood from CT into elbow, wasn't really able to help Celsius there. Or perhaps had already used it earlier in the round. SEN are going to take a timeout.
Potential turning point, really. Not just the map, but maybe even the series. That's why Sentinels are taking their time with this one.
I mean, the pressure is already on SEN. We knew that they were at a disadvantage coming into this. Gen.G earned that advantage by bullying Sentinels on 2 of the maps in the upper bracket final and cementing themselves as the leaders at Masters Madrid, but not the winners yet.
They know the job's not finished. That's why they're taking it 1 round at a time, because not just the hopes and dreams of their country, it's a Korean team, the furthest they've ever got in one of these international tournaments, going all the way to the finals, but Pacific as well. They've had 10 chances. This is the 10th one here that we're looking at in Masters Madrid at getting a title. And they've come close, don't get me wrong, but tumbled at the finish line many, many times.
Or some not even made it to the finish line, if we're going to talk about the Korean squads, right?
Yeah.
New turn, DRX, best was 3rd. Gen.G already overtaken that and looking to lift the trophy.
This is that new era of Valorant that we're looking at. Team's been put together. He's filling up the pieces here. Shots going wide there from Meteor. No tag onto the damage, and it was definitely a threat of it. Celsius on the half armor.
I wonder if they can get a read that because Meteor faced mid, he's not going to be lurking A ramp.
Cover going out.
Sassy and Zekken are still trying to clear that, but this is as the B hit comes through.
Paranoia does connect it, at least onto the dog, but into the back of the site. He needs to exchange positions, and he will do so. Wrapping back away, but Gen.G have nothing to do with this site now. They are fully rotating away.
But they're rotating without anybody taking space over towards A. And Zekken and Sassy cleared this out. You know, Sassy is perfectly fine facing ramp here. He knows he's not going to get punished. He's going to be able to hear some of this. Zekken's coming forwards to try to help.
50 seconds. Now Karen does have util as well. Paranoia, going to be getting good information with that one. Respecting the position here. Sassy not eager to take that fight. Instead, doubling up. It looks like potential high-low setup. Yeah, it is indeed, with him playing up onto Heaven. Satchel forwards, cuts up the angle, flash repeat. No, not through main. Adjustment necessary, and Zekken comes up with the goods and more. With 4 ripped away.
I'm not sure if Zekken's asking the crowd to appreciate or telling Gen.G he can handle more of them.
Spike down A.
The flash play from Sassy cost him his life. Makes him look worse in terms of the stats, but it was exactly what his teammates needed. It fed Celsius in through the back into Heaven and also allowed Zekken to try to contest the main players too. What a spray control. He's 17-7.
Leading the charge, doesn't even cover it.
Here.
Almost dragging his team over some of these rounds.
Friend, the most rounds that Gen.G have dropped on Split this tournament is 8. SEN are looking good to maybe make it 7.
Add a few more to the tally perhaps, but maybe speaking too soon. We know how good Gen.G are.
And they're so good at, in the 4v5s.
Yeah.
But look at this. Sassy and Zekken realizing that if nobody's there, they can take the space.
Disrespect. Zekken knows if he gets one more kill, he's got a showstopper earned and available for him to just try and get out of the dodge.
The trip will give him the timing here to potentially make the play.
There it is, flash through. TP pass, broken. Backs to the wall, backs to him entirely. No way! The movement, the twists and turns. Looking like ballerinas out in mid.
Zekken goes from high to low, but Sassy's here, potentially as the safety net to clean it all up.
Might be your time to strike, son. Step up to the line and really reward the rest of your team. As 2 topple and fall, texture soon after, and the movement, wide swing, wide face. Lead maintained for Sentinels. Vital, necessary, essential for it.
A relieved smile on the face of Zekken. No need for the replay, I don't think. After picking up 4 in the previous, look at that, hand on his head. Thought he'd ruined it. But his teammates were there to pick things up. Huge from Sassy, who gave his life to make Zekken's play work in the previous round. And what a read from SEN as well, that they can get away with that, because Gen.G group up so much in their attack side. They talked about that, they knew it coming out of the press conference after the upper bracket final.
Last round of the half. 10 seconds down already, and look how aggressive SEN are. This Trailblazer, I mean, it's so deeply pushed.
Yeah.
Constant information. I mean, Sassy is pushed entirely. He's given him the full information now, just calling it out to the rest of his team.
It looks like we're watching Gen.G on the defense, right?
does.
Just believing in the read.
Taking that liberty.
Celsius cannot peek into that many players. But if you allow them to walk up mid, Zeken's death earned him a showstopper.
No way.
Sassy can't die here. He can't take that level of risk. He's just looking for the information.
Gen.G all eyes now on the B side. There will be trips waiting for him. The nade should clear at least one layer of it. Smoke's now up with the paranoia through, and it's a call made to flood right back into it. The rocket damage done, but already Texture right behind, snaps back second. Shuts down the adversary, shuts down the nemesis. But does he anticipate this? Yes, he does! Movement sublime!
Another 4 kills and only 4 rounds on the board for Gen.G. SEN were held at 5 in their matches against both of the Pacific teams here. But they've broken through that and already equaled the max amount that anyone's taken against Gen.G here at Madrid. Zeken can feel it. 21 kills for this young player on the defense side.
Rallied and rejuvenated. 8-4, like you said, 21 kills, looking unstoppable truly here. Still a second half yet to happen and yet to be seen.
To all the people following us at home, I must take this break to show you all how incredible is the Spanish crowd that we are having right now on Madrid Arena. And for that, I'm going to use my mother tongue. Para toda la gente que tenemos aquí, amigos, sois un público maravilloso y vamos a demostrarle al mundo entero que como vosotros no hay ninguno. Así que quiero saber con quién vais. Primero, ¿quién va con Sentinels? Y ahora, ¿quién va con Gen.G? Amigos, vamos a dedicarle un aplauso a toda la gente que estáis aquí y también a los jugadores, todos juntos, lentito. Primero, uno, vamos. Sois absolutamente increíbles. Para despedirme, todos juntos, calentamos manos. Una ola, de abajo arriba. 3, 2, 1, ¡arriba todo el mundo! Madrid, sois increíbles. Disfrutemos de esta gran final. Hagámoslo juntos, hagamos historia. Porque como esta final, no hay ninguna. Friends, on home, let's go back with this banger.
But the energy is palpable here in the Madrid arena. There's been mayhem, there's been madness, don't get me wrong. But Sentinels perhaps have done enough for them here against this Gen.G team put together. It was Gen.G that was standing on the precipice, really. They just needed this map to close it out and make history, carving out their own path. But maybe starting to feel that heat.
Sometimes in moments like this, it can just feel a little too real. The realization hits you, Texture, knocked down to only 20 health. When that's combined with the Viper Wall.
A few shots flying, nade rebounding, but not expecting Meteor here with the damage. Done! Kills collected. All on top, and it's all added up as well for that Gen.G advantage still. There are players low. Calling for the pause and around here for Sentinels, understanding the importance of it, not getting ahead of themselves.
Their map control is actually fairly good here, with Sassy watching behind. Lakia not getting punished for this re-exploration, but also finding incorrect information. That might drive people into Sassy. He's weak, but he has a sheriff.
Gen.G have gone walkabouts themselves. What's the thought process here? Flash, acknowledgement now at least that there's going to be players behind him, but Sassy feeling no real pressure, but now he's got to hear it. Jumping down into vents, they are just forcing the position and forcing the fight straight to them. Surely not favored into this one. 3v2, damage! And down, drop down to the players here. Single shot will do it. Texture survives. Spike. It's still in the hands of Sassy here, but he's got so much more to do. And does he hear the drop down? He does not.
That's a crazy round from Texture towards the end. Combined health pools, barely in the double digits. And yet Texture's able to weave around slightly. Pops ahead. Great resilience on show here for Gen G. Even though they're in the lead, with players that haven't been in this kind of position before, the closer you get to winning, sometimes the more the pressure mounts.
Yeah.
I was wondering if these rookie players, or rather some of the players with less experience at the big level as well as Caron, might struggle in a spot like this, but certainly Meteor has not given up the confidence.
No. That's back immediately here in the jump spot. Zelsis is not seeing too much there. Ends up getting punished. Meteor, no chance for him to feast. We met though with a few shotgun pellets. Munchkin, really nice idea there and awareness, knowing that could be a possibility. It's all being shut down, all being locked down.
Clean from Gen G, very clean. Second just trying to get the orb online, and he does. He runs away with it. Call that a silver lining, yeah. And Sen have got to be fairly happy about this.
Lakia, hello, knives out. What the hell is going on here? Realizing it.
Could go for a knife fight, why not? Second gets picked off, but Sen won't be too bothered about that. Another huge difference between Sen playing Split in the upper bracket final and now. The vibe, the atmosphere, it's so different. They don't feel as timid, unconfident. Ten said that he was zoning out throughout the game. Couldn't really find good timings to be able to take his ones. Zekken got shut down. It's different, and yet Gen G are still keeping it within 2. They're such a dangerous squad, and it's on them to cook up some idea for this bonus round. What a weird wall from Munchkin over towards A.
This is bizarre. Different twist onto some of them that are being thrown out. Blocks up this angle. Meteor happy to jiggle it. They could have crossed onto either side here. Okay, there it is. Just spotting the one and now backing away. Munchkin. Did he miss that timing? Was he going to be aware of it? Meteor close now. Tucked to the corner. Trailblazer, any seek or attempt to punish this one. Might just be met pound for pound. 3 players grouped up mid. Also being explored here, but the first kill. Damage done. Meteor dash to disengage away. And Lakia.
They're going to get caught here.
Covering fire. You're right. They are getting caught in all sorts of positions with Caron falling. Zekken creeping and crawling. Whoa. Texture though, back at it again. It's not quite enough still. It's an overwhelming advantage now for Sentinels.
Exactly where you are.
I'm watching for this again. Texture caught. So much value out of this position over towards Vents. Again, feels like a hard read from Sentinels to me. Baiting them into fighting over A ramp and then just creeping up mid with the contact play. Any time where you see Sen taking mid control without using Dog or Boombot, you've got to call it a hard read in my opinion. They just know that Gen G love to group up heavily on sides of the map, and this is where you're finally seeing that adaptation abusing the holes that Gen G cause by trying to stack players. It is difficult though, because if you get the read wrong, you're just walking up mid into a crossfire. Meteor is now going to have an operator online.
Okay.
But he's holding very far back over towards A. It's not a position where you're likely to get too much value, at least not in the early round.
Looks like Gen G were setting up for a punish over towards B.
Yeah, and at the very
probably
least...
because Zekken's one away from the ult.
Yeah, it also allows them to get good information behind Zelsis' orb, which he's put at the front of B main. And now as it goes down, Gen G knows that there's nobody over in this area of the map.
Clearing a push with the flashes out. It's a wide face, really wide face, but all the kills eventually being collected and traded there by Caron. Meteor though, gonna miss though to where these potential players could be. Good information, at least with the acknowledgement there. Trailblazer finding the target and the mark, but really chaotic situation. Pings on the map though, Gen G are aware.
Yeah, and I don't think Gen G are actually gonna think that it's a full commitment A heaven. You would expect Zekken to be with the play here because he's one away from Showstopper, he's the entry player. So the fact he was in market, I think, has scrambled Gen G a little.
Yeah, they're all over the place this time, less trusting of the gut and wondering where the hell these players have got to. Ten's almost going down there, out to the open. Meteor left to anchor now, and his position is being assaulted and swarmed. Paranoia is good, shot, missed. Going stray, still walks it down onto this angle, but look at it, they've just absolutely overpowered them.
Really beautiful attack side from Sen. Gorgeous calling from John Cutie, from the whole team. contact plays. In the previous, contacting up mid to pinch the players over towards A heaven. This time, going for a semi-contact all the way through A heaven. Karen just caught a glimpse and gave up the game. We'll take a look at the replay as Lakia saves. Look how deep they are before Gen G get the read. And to me, the biggest strength of Gen G on defense is the fact that they get the reads. They either play aggressive or they re-clear in the mid-round or something to give Munchkin that gut feeling that he's going to make the right call. And I think you could see it on the minimap there. Gen G were so spread out. Even after they re-cleared B main, spotting Zekken with the Trailblazer in market was a real head-scratcher for them. Love what John Cudy's bringing out here. You can see that they've put in a lot of effort. And what a tight turnaround for SEN. They had to play basically the entire time since losing on Split. They haven't really had a break to work with.
No.
Gen G are the team that should have been able to pull adaptations out of it, but it's harder when you won. It's actually easier to learn from your mistakes.
Yeah,
That
truly.
seems like what SEN are doing.
Gen G now calling this timeout, seeking a few adaptations, because they're realizing with the map slipping away from their grasp, Sentinels holding this lead, looking more and more likely that this map 5 is just inevitable.
Now, map 5, Icebox, would be good news for Gen G, but a lot of it has to do with keeping up that spirit. I feel like it's difficult from the outside to understand just how much mental game there is involved in Valorant. If you lose your confidence, if you hesitate, it doesn't matter how good your game plan was, how good your ideas are. If you can't execute on them because you're feeling the nerves, feeling the pressure of the moment, you're going to let it all slip away.
Exactly.
So that's what I need to see from Gen G here. Even if they're not able to rebound on this map, which I'll be hoping they can, that they're at least keeping their heads above the water.
Toss the hesitation to the side here, trust the gut, make the plays. That's what carried Gen G so far all the way to this grand finals. You can't lose your nerve here, not when you're at the finish line.
So this is the Viper wall now being put over towards B. That is a difference. Normally Zelsis has been putting in A and the orb on B.
Watch this.
But it doesn't look like Gen G are thinking it's a real threat. It's only Munchkin in this area with a Bucky.
I've seen Gen G do work in spots like this prior, especially inside the orb. Hello, Munchkin. There's the dog now, breaks it. We'll let loose that snake bite. So covering the retreat, but at the same time, John QT here anticipating every single play. Getting two there's a job well done. Karen did return that fire, but Munchkin pushed back and away. Snakebite vulnerable. Boombot in his face, barely dealt with. Still alive and kicking the Meteor. Rapid on the approach, rapid on the uptake.
They didn't help Zekken. Zekken got into sight and they were scared. Scared of the Buckies, scared of the Snakebites coming down. Something caused a hesitation in SEN here. And it's a 3v3, still with knives on the other side.
Fear might cost you if you are Sentinels, Karen. It's close, not quite concealed, only good for the one. There's that instant trade. The Meteor's way ahead of you. Look at this guy, already taking a position forward and tucked underneath. He's picked up a rifle, and this could be the playmaker. Real time, watching it play out. It's like a car crash in slow motion, but a tough plant. Not anticipating it, labored in that 1v1, or 1v2. Sassy removed. Meteor, what a play.
The anticipation again of the rotate coming through before SEN had even realized they were going to end A. Meteor knew it.
That's trusting your gut. What we were talking about, having just no hesitation in terms of the way you make these plays.
And yet for Sentinels, I think it was a bit of hesitation. If they'd bullied their way through Munchkin's setup on B, they're probably there to help Zekken, maybe even trade that out. Listen, there's a possibility that it all goes wrong as well, but that's how dangerous Gen G can be. Solo and HSK looking like that's given them new life. Wind in the sails.
Yeah, you can understand why. Zekken does have this showstopper. Critical tool that they could be using. Maybe swing this round when the economy, well, a super heavy investment. Gen G should have some money just left in the bank, but if they lose this round, it won't look ideal for them.
Zekken was dominating on the defense side. I think he ended it with 23. Hasn't quite been able to find the same success, but here he comes.
Yep, just following it. Dog going to be leading. No way, Meteor! Plucks him out of the sky.
Didn't get cleared, he was on top of the box.
And the threat of that rocket is just negated immediately. Tens though. He's looking for timings of his own, and this is the right time to take them. Got to play riskily now when you're a player down, especially against a team like Gen G.
Texture.
Stacked.
Oh, they just missed the timing.
Texture. Oh, he's going to spot him now. Tens doesn't see it. Tens called
He's
out.
a dead man walking.
He really is. Should not be getting away with this at all. In fact, Texture not even worried about it. His team's going to be calling for it. He wins the fight out. Munchkin taking that one alone, but already it's Texture sees the advantage, and now that close position, tucked to the corner, punishing the AWP pick. Himself just wondering, how the hell did he get there? 2 players to stand, but turning it down, and Meteor turning up the bloody heat. All up to John.
Again, another SEN player in a 1v2 to end this situation. Not favoured, 25 seconds, doesn't know where Meteor is. There's barely going to be any time here at some point. He's got to get a move on. He's going to give the information away to Lakia.
15 seconds.
Can he knife out walk the entire way?
As much as he possibly can. Wants to give away absolutely nothing. But at some point, they got to know it's A. And Lakia, yeah, finally realizing, turns his attention towards it. Barely enough time. So John's got a hell of a task ahead of him now. Doesn't know where the players are. Left to take some gambles. Lakia, what the hell was that peak?
That's an unbelievable shot, though, from John.
Absolutely. Brought it to the 1v1. 8 bullets left in the clip. Smoke out. Open Meteor. Spoils the potential play of a lifetime.
I believed it for a moment. He even got the aim reset, but Meteor comes up with another huge round, saving Gen G. They looked down and out. And here it is, the punish on the showstopper after already winning that previous round. He dominates, shuts down Tens, wins the 1v1 at the end as well. They'll have to film another take of that.
Oh, frustrations on display.
Not the cinema that John was looking for there. I believe we're going into a tactical timeout here as well.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, timeout for Sentinels then. They've just lost 2 rounds in a row. And things have gotten very scrappy in the middle of them. I mean, the engage up into B heaven seems to make a lot of sense there. Dog, showstopper follows it. They just weren't expecting there to be 3 players.
No.
They had the audio cues that they were chasing one away. They're expecting another to be hard anchored on B. They just don't think the Meteor's also going to be there. How do Sentinels adjust their attack side to get value? Because now they're also heading into Texture's ult. I mentioned it earlier too. Zekan, I think, had 23 kills to end his defense half. It was somewhere in that area, even if I'm wrong with the exact number. He's only at 26 now.
Yeah, it's been slowed down.
Yes, he hasn't really been able to have the same level of impact on the entry. And to be honest, him entering was part of what looked magical in the game against HyperX. And when he played Lotus against Gen G, actually, he was just sailing in, dominating opponents, cracking stuff open for the team. Kind of dragging the rest of SEN through some difficult moments.
Not in hot water just yet, but again, that lead that they had, no longer steady. Gen G creeping back up to it now, trying to make it an even map, an even game. Texture. Got that showstopper here. Caron setting up the play out towards Ram.
That's pretty risky, actually, giving away his positioning there. Intense is taking the timing.
Smoke out. Texture, though, with the rifle in his hands. He's the one who has to really land this one. Shot! The crouched up. Not expecting that. Too many players to account for. Texture falling. Caron now with the judge. Now, I've seen this one before. If they walk right into him, there could be trouble.
Yeah, but they've got the Cypher up.
They
do. See that he's got that weapon. They want no piece of that smoke.
Now a maneuver all the way over. Lakia out wide, trying to anchor this position. Follow through with the kills, and they do trade out those available players, but Caron TP'd in the fight, in the mix, inside the smoke, trying to dominate this one, but he only has the judge. What can one man do? Not enough. Pit, lay it down for Sentinels. They're not leaving this one to chance. They need to clean it up now. Munchkin, the IGL. Does he anticipate seconds forward position? He does not. So, 11-1 now on the board for Sentinels. Off the back of that timeout. New lease of life on their side.
And that's a great attack side call again. SEN are really adding fake plays into their game. Yes, it's this one that opens up the round officially on the kill feed, but the whole reason that they're able to take that space in mid silently is because they created pressure A ramp, and then got knowledge about where Caron was playing and knowledge that there was an opening in mid they could take advantage of. Now, last time we saw Gen G on a broken bike, they won the thing. So don't count them out here.
Definitely have the tools to do so again.
But, I mean, their positioning is, it couldn't be more wrong at the moment. Munchkin's got to try and hold it down with the judge until the cavalry arrives.
Not going fast onto his approach, but now they might just be. Still that judge. Prime position to really get some work done with this one in the close quarter avenue. Still they dash past him. They don't know where he is finally. Dealing with him. But that push down mid has turned into a fast flank with all four of them. The trip. They're giving it away, but are they going to be aware that there's this many players?
No reaction from Sen. They're not trying to take space elsewhere.
No. Holding the ground, ensnared onto the site. Now from that high ground position, spam through, but Ten's not being baited with this one. Texture, how has he got that? Opened it up onto Zelsis, rocket, rebound into the bag! Kills, collected, and there's a 1v2 out of nowhere! Caron delivers. And I'm telling you, man, you cannot count Gen G out.
It's another thrifty for Gen G, man. And it's Sen not being quick enough, not realizing fast enough that everybody was on the flank there. You know, from our position, seeing all of the perfect information, it seems obvious. Okay, you need to take screens control. You need to be able to take heaven control there. But they didn't plan for heaven, and they just all got stuck on site. They were expecting there to still be some people over towards screens or ramp or heaven.
Yeah. And unreal mechanics on display.
Yeah. Absolutely. Meteor to open, Texture's ult, and then Caron closes. The three heavy hitters.
Putting in work. 2 rounds stands between them in terms of that equalization. Again, looks like a fast play out, and it is. Gliding forward, Zelsis goes down to his own nade and takes a with the damage follow-up, the rifle in play. John QT is so fast here, just trying to follow through with Sassy. He's already gained that ground here, but they've lost too many players.
Surely. I mean, Gen G don't have that many holes in the defense side either this round. Munchkin's already keeping B main control. You know, you've got Caron looking for the lurk play too.
Yeah, he's taking that real quick.
That was just an attempt from Sen to try to up the tempo. Use the fact that they'd faked fast A control earlier. But I think as soon as you saw the cages come through with the blast packs,
this is a full investment round for Sen.
Yeah.
You lose this, the economy goes tumbling once more. Gen G up to 10. But maybe, just maybe you can find this. Kills Zelsis! How's he getting away with it again?
But
the movement!
They can't use that. It does pull the Gen G players away slightly, but as soon as the plank goes down, Gen G are going to know that they have to focus on B, and Zelsis is going to get rooted out here.
Not again.
No!
Not again! No way! The 3 versus 3.
30
The
seconds.
discipline, the diligence, paranoia sweeps through. Now the Seekers over the top with the flash, trying to hold his ground. Sassy does not go down. Pillardo, blade up, double up, guns need to be out, and AI in play. Finally, Lakia. A 1v2, finds the first. Next one on the cards. Get out of here. It's lights out.
Clutch.
He's been so good for Gen G in the clutch. And he cleans it up again. Zelsis got away with murder in that round to make things doable. But finally, Gen G got rewarded for their good early round play. There've only been 3 successful rounds for Sentinels in this half so far. Gen G otherwise finding moment after moment. And look at the reaction. Pure relief on Lakia's face compared to the elation on all the rest. The stress, the heart rates all spiking.
Tension is there, palpable.
But the economy declining.
Now they have
Fast
to make
again.
a play, they have to make a play, they have to make it now, backing away with a position of respect being shown. Don't want to tangle with that judge.
Gen G have made such an incredible comeback in this half. They're starting to believe it. They're starting to earn it. They're only 3 rounds away from lifting that trophy. And this one should be a gimme.
Even it up 11-11. It's up to Sentinels to pull out. Not just miraculous moments, but honestly just divine intervention. Might just be necessary. A jiggle. And folk gathering for Lakia here. Doesn't look like there's much chance of a punish. Here's the dog, Trailblazer broken, denying any sort of ground, and he might be able to gain Meteor. He's up close and personal now with this rifle in his hands. Does he anticipate this kind of danger? It's returned, at least with the fire, but he's already gained 2 kills for his team, and now John QT wants to put a bit of a move on here still. Doesn't have a rifle to take that fight. Dodging, ducking, weaving. Finally, the run and gun in action. Sassy, sticking his plan down.
Very nicely done there by Sentinels. Lakia just giving it away a little too early by taking the shot. Missed it on John. He's opened up a chance for Sen. Post plants look good as well, honestly.
They do.
They've also planted so that Tens could get one and then ult away to heaven.
Possibilities now for Sen. Twist and turn and find themselves up to 12 here. Paranoia's exchanged. Okay, the nade just dodged the bout with the TP. Engage. Texture. Matters into his own hands. He's just blitzed his way onto the site now, out through the back of it. Neurofem. Maybe it's a false information, but they are looking everywhere now. Smoke. Drop down. Texture. Sticking. Half. Denied.
What a way for Sen to respond! The Thrifties will not go quietly! Both teams finding those avenues to be able to turn these into miracles. It's Lakia there who just pulls the trigger a little too early, gives away his spot, and from there, John and Sassy wiggle their way in to be able to get the plant down into such a nice area for Tens to play. Didn't even have to use the ult to reposition. Pit in mid. Sen, map point, looking to try to extend the series, deny Gen G the trophy, at least for now, and move us on to icebox.
Here.
How well Gen G have been playing. There's no certainties. But I think Sen are happy in this spot now. Guns are good. Gen G's economy, listen, hasn't stopped them in the past, but it's taking a hit.
Only a little one though. Munchkin is pretty happy with the judge here. It's Texture, who's really in the worst spot of things, but he's hiding inside a smoke, looking to try to make the play here.
Crouched.
Meteor
off angle! Loses his fight out.
against the high-low there. It's very difficult to get anything done.
Will this be the domino effect
But
here?
look, it's a fake
instant reaction. Yeah, it's a fake Charon. He commits a TP to try and reinforce that A side, but it's all for naught. Texture, the lone player to stand against it. The onslaught sweeping them through all the bounds, and the Stinger's just not good for it, at least for that. Paranoia, though, has to be a follow-up and it has to be a cleanup, and there is there on time. Texture dropped in the process now with 30 seconds left. Take a pause in the round and take a breather because Sentinels realize it. The chance now to extend that play in the series, to take it all the way to icebox. A tap forces it out. The first wave of the util. Oh, the flash is flying through, and so do the bullets. Lakia, a lot to overcome, a lot to do, and it's just impossible. Map 5 is on the cards.
From a 13-5 loss, back-to-back, the last two times that Sen play split, they take back their title of looking like the team who's best in the world on this map. Absolute cinema at the end there from John QD2. The fakes have got to be coming against the way that Munchkin plays defense, and he had them in every moment.
An unbelievable series so far. Would we have it any other way? Map 5 icebox coming right at you.